My camera is hanging on by a thread. It's the slightest little turn and it all fall apart. My phone is heavy. Today I learned that my phone does not have an audio jack. I never noticed that, so that's fun. Hi. It's been forever since I filmed a video. I made this cool little space. It's got all of, this bookshelf has all of my favorite books. This is the rest of them that I like enough to keep, but they're not my favorites. These are my favorite books. You can't see any of them, but they're in alphabetical order. And yeah, made this fun little area for myself because this is a book channel, so I should showcase my books. Yeah. If I had any sort of regular filming schedule, then maybe I would actually be able to get followers and like become any level of popular, but you know, that would require more effort on my part, and I do this mostly for myself and my sister, who is super hype about this channel. But anyway, Book of Ursule, I don't actually know how to say it. Ursule. That's Nanette's daughter, the one who was born by dude who just kind of showed up one day, and then she wanted him to leave, so he left. Yeah, so all of the men on the farm by this point have died. It's 1847. All of the men on the farm at this point have died, so it's just Nanette, Ursula, and the other women in her family. Nanette hasn't really shared the magic with Ursula, mostly for protection, but this has resulted in that thing that I hate it when old people do, where you don't make an effort to teach the children of immigrants like their language, your culture, and then get upset when those children don't know the language or the culture. I don't like it when people do that. Anyway, um yeah, like her aunts and stuff still speak French, and Ursula feels like she's Cornish, and that's where they live in, like, England, I'm assuming. Cornish is England, isn't it? I think it is. I'm standing, in case you can't tell. That's why there's a whole lot of this going on. This is going to be my filming spot from now on. My brain is wandering. There's a lot going on in my life right now. Ursula does have power, but she doesn't believe that it's like magic. It's just whatever. Like, the cat still comes around. Nanette had a cat. That cat still comes around, and Ursula's of the belief that that cat doesn't like her. And it's mostly just like the cat doesn't really understand or know who she is. I made this sweater, which is why it looks the way it does. It's not falling apart, but some of the ends are coming out. My brain is all over the place. It's very short. All of these books are less than 100 pages long, and they're very short. This whole situation, because eventually it's just Nanette and Ursula. And this whole situation, what it results in is somebody, like a witch hunter, coming to try and out them again. And Ursula doesn't believe, so she's like going into the town still and isn't really like secret keeping, but they never really taught her the secrets. And this results in Ursula having to abandon the farm, and Nanette dies. Yeah. Ursula can also use the scrying stone that their grandmother had, so that's nice. Ursula also ends up having a baby by another traveling vendor. So, yeah. I don't like Net's aunts or her sisters. I didn't like them in the first book either. Like, you're so scared that you're going to be found out and stuff like that. And I get that it's scary and that trying to maintain your culture is really difficult, but you can't be mad at Nanette and Ursula for not really understanding the culture when you haven't taught it to them. If you lived and died for your culture, then the onus is on you as the adult in the relationship to teach it to the children. Otherwise, how are the children supposed to learn? Because the internet can only get you so far when it is your culture. This sweater is also a size too big. That's why it keeps sliding off my shoulder, but it's more comfortable like that. Yeah. A lot of suffering has gone on here, and I understand that. I don't know. I don't like that. I may do with that book what I did with Sweep, where I just For this volume of Sweep, I just read all 3 of the books. I didn't split them up because there's 15 books in the Sweep series, so I didn't want to do that. Also, the book is less quaint and cute now. But anyway, Lab is the last one in training camp. At least this volume of training camp. There is one more book. And, but that takes place after training camp is already over and the team has been decided. Hang on, it is not going back in. Yeah. This is probably the shortest review of one of these books because, again, the week has been the same the entire time since I started reading this book. It's just what the kid has to learn has changed. Lab is Twig's little brother? Hang on. Lab's name is also Javi. Like how all of them have nicknames, Lab's name is Javi. Lab's question is, where did you put all of those memories? Because if you remember, Twig and Lab, their mom has died. Twig's whole thing was like I believe it was trying not to like drown in the sorrow and like, but also you have to like mourn her because she died and that's sad and it sucks. Lab's whole thing is that he's been trying to ignore all of those feelings instead of like doing other things in order to ignore them. He's just been blanket ignoring them, which also is not good for you. So yeah, not Twig, Peño is his brother. Sorry. Twig was the skinny one who felt like he didn't belong. Yeah. Lab feels like he's alone because his dad is working more and Peño's doing all of the housework, and he feels kind of useless and like he wasn't there for his mother because when she was dying, he didn't go into the room to see her in the hospital. Like, take care of yourself, y'all, especially if you're a child, but you're like a self-aware child. Take care of yourself, yo. If you can't be in the room when tough shit is going on, she's still, like, the moral of the story for Lab mostly was that she's still your mother and you can't run from these things, and just because you didn't see her in her last moments doesn't mean that you're a failure. Grief is hard. That's what Peño and Lab's stories are about. It's about grieving, and grieving is difficult. Give yourself grace and give yourself all the time that you need is Rolabi's thing. We also get a little bit more about Rolabi's sort of backstory. There's something going on with Grana in this world. I can't tell if this place is supposed to be America or not. It feels like America. I can't tell, and I think that's kind of the point, but it's still annoying. Where they are, Grana has been banned, and all of the children, I believe, have some, and obviously so does Rolabi. That's how he made, like, all of those illusions appear and, like, how the tiger and all of that. But, if the government finds out about this, it will be bad. So, the next book with Reggie, I think it's Reggie's next, is going to be pretty interesting. Yeah. What did I write down? The tricky thing about grief is that there is no timeline for it. You have those stages, but they don't come in that order necessarily. Not everyone experiences all of them. Telling others how to grieve is always cruel, especially children. Don't try to move on quickly. Let yourself feel the things that you need to feel. It's going to be hard and upsetting, but you still have to do it because those feelings don't go away if you just ignore them. And don't isolate yourself if you can. If you have people who care about you and generally want to help you through that sort of thing, you should let them help you. Yeah, all of these videos are going to probably be filmed over the course of the next couple of hours because I need to take this hair out this week and I have other things I would like to do this week. So I'm going to try and get all these out in the next couple of hours. And we're going to read some books. So if my outfit changes, it's a different day. If not, same couple of hours. Dope.